Well, good evening again, everybody. Welcome to the H2O team call. This is Lynn Gardner. I'll be facilitating the call tonight. It's so good to have you with us. And I can see from the screen, this is a call-in, but I can monitor it online. And we have a good group of people, quiet people, but a good group of people tonight. I'm really excited about this call. So I'm hoping that, I am recording it, and I'm hoping that you guys will share it, because I think we're getting ready to embark on something that so many people really need to consider in their life right now, and it's a session called Dream Again. But before that, I do have some team announcements and a few things that I want to share for our guests. This did originate as a team call, so we do have a little bit of housekeeping that we do before we get going with our primary message tonight. First of all, this is kind of a launch for this new series entitled Dream Again. And if you believe that dreams are important, that you absolutely need to tune in. I can tell you, as there's breath in your body, and God still has you here, you need to be dreaming, and you need to keep moving forward. So I'm hoping that you'll invite your teams on to the call, and that you'll share this journey with me. I actually registered for Bruce Wilkinson's Dream Again series. It's a 12-week series, and I've registered for that. So the way this call is going to work is that you don't have to register for it. If you'd like to do that, that would be great, but you don't have to. So I'm just going to kind of be recapping what he teaches in the Dream Again series, brought forth again by Bruce Wilkinson. If you're not familiar with Bruce, he was the author of the Prayer of Jabez, and he's also developer of the Walk Through the Bible series. He's a globally renowned leader, so he's the best of the best, and I'm really looking forward to it. So if you guys are inclined to want to do the series, it's $35. I don't have any play in this game, guys. I'm just telling you what I'm doing, okay? It's $35, and you can go to brucewilkinson.com, and that's WILKINSON, brucewilkinson.com. If you're so inclined, register. If not, I think that I'll be able to glean what he's sharing and bring it out to you, with ease. And then lastly, before we move on, our executive luncheon is coming up here with our local team. Again, it's always the first Wednesday of the month. Same location, same time. We'll be at Jasmine starting at noon. Please get your guests to arrive a couple minutes early. So it is a complimentary lunch for them. We want them to order their lunch. And while you guys, enjoy your meal, I'll be doing an overview and do a demo. So please get busy. It's right around the corner. So, I also want to say some of you guys aren't plugged in online. And you may not be aware of a message that came out from Mr. Oshiro recently, and I just thought it was so special. I'm not going to read the whole thing to you, but I'm going to read an excerpt because it really does give the heart of the company that we represent. And he says, when I look back at the history which gave birth to our Nagic family, I'm reminded of the countless stories of overcoming adversity that we've all experienced over the decades. It brings a huge smile to my face to know that close to 1 million people worldwide have enjoyed the success of a Nagic's vision. Thanks to your hard work and the combined collaborative efforts of hundreds of thousands of people globally, we are spreading the message of true health at a rapid pace. My original dream, close to 40 years ago, I love this part, guys, was to free people from whatever binds them, from whatever prevents their ultimate ascension into greatness. How very happy I am today to share this with you. What a leader we have. And if you guys are not aware, obviously for corporate purposes, sometimes people aren't as bold, as I am in my faith, but Mr. Oshiro is absolutely a believer, and he shares his faith, and he's a very strong believer, actually. So I love to hear that he had a vision to be able to help people out of whatever they were struggling with, whatever bondage in their lives. It's an honor and a privilege to be part of that. And, it's time to dream big, guys. I was listening to a call here this last week, and I heard that in the U.S. we have less than 1% market penetration. And maybe you don't know what that means, and that's certainly not a critical, statement. But it means that we haven't even begun to hit momentum yet. It hasn't even started, guys. So if you got on board with this because you did at least think you have a dream, if you did, want to run with the vision that we have, it's time to do it. If you don't want a future with an addict, that's perfectly fine. If you're in just share and ministry mode, that's perfectly fine. But if you're like myself and you need to pay your bills and you have big dreams financially, you got to get moving. If you sincerely want a future with an addict, it's time to dream again, and it's time to get your momentum going. There's lots of exciting things to generate excitement all across the U.S. We've got commercials that are launching. There's even an Enagic Career Day program that's launching, and that Career Day program really is designed, from what I'm hearing, to be, like a career day. In other words, talking a serious financial, side of our business and that sort of thing to attract people who are in the marketplace looking. Hold on one second, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm struggling with my voice tonight. So the Enagic Career Day thing is serious recruiting, and they're launching that all across the country. And then there are True Health seminars that are taking place all over the U.S. It's pretty exciting. So it's time for you to dream again. Will you dream again? There are countless instructions, that we hear from the Bible. Clearly this is Bruce Wilkinson Dream Again program. It is going to have, if I'm involved at least, it's going to have a spiritual spin, no doubt about it. So, I want you to know that sometimes, I know from years ago I was involved in really more of a legalistic environment. I was really discouraged from dreaming. It's kind of like I was encouraged to be like a spiritual slug, just kind of sit there and wait on God, right? Countless instructions from the Bible. You could read forever and ever. One of them is hope deferred makes the heart sick, but a longing fulfilled is a tree of life. Think about that. You put off your hope, your heart gets sick. And, some of the people on this call or some of the people that you're working with in this business, they have lost their hope, and their heart is sick. But a longing fulfilled is a tree of life. Without vision, the people perish is another one. Delight yourself in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that by testing you may discern what is the will of God, what is good and acceptable and perfect. You could go on and on and on. I want you to know that, this is not about I guess a Christian world would understand when I say this, not a name it, claim it kind of theology, okay? I'm not talking about, just have a dream of, pots of gold, millions of dollars in gold. That's not what this is. But I'm going to tell you something. If you are still breathing and you're still on this call, there's a plan for your life. And you can't just sit back and wait. You've got to get moving with that plan. So where did the dreams go? When we were all younger, dreaming was easy, wasn't it? Where did they go? What happened to our dreams? Once upon a time it was easy. Perhaps you dreamed of, winning a championship game when you were still in school. Perhaps you dreamed of, getting a great job one day, or as you were working your job, maybe you were dreaming about getting that promotion. Maybe you dreamed of getting married one day and having a family. Maybe you dreamed of owning your own home one day. Dreams used to come easy. So what in the world has happened to the dreams? Well, there's no real easy answer. From a worldly perspective, I can say that life happens to our dreams. We hit some obstacles along the way. There's no doubt about the last decade or so, a lot of the baby boomers got their tails kicked financially. We hit obstacles. Some hit big obstacles. Some lost their jobs and lost their homes. Their whole life changed. Some lost a tremendous amount. But instead of redirecting that dream, instead of regrouping, we just gave up. From a spiritual perspective, I can say with certainty that it isn't God withholding your dreams and your progress. It's the enemy that wants you to hold you back. And as long as we live in a slump with broken dreams and a bleak future, we can't do a whole lot, for our faith at all. There's not much of an example we can be. Again, it's just kind of like we're spiritual slugs sitting there. Again, dreaming is also a vision. It's not optional, guys. There's a purpose for everything that in our lives. We've got to keep moving, and we've got to get dreaming. If you quit dreaming, we've got to get on it. Are you maybe afraid to dream? If so, there are probably just some underlying reasons for that. Number one, maybe you lost your hope and you refuse to get it back. You just don't want to go there again. You lost it. You got hurt. Maybe you got divorced. Maybe you lost a home. Maybe whatever. You lost your hope and you refuse to get it back. It's there still, but you refuse to get it back. Fear. Fear of climbing to the top again, fear of victory again, only to be pushed back downward, pushed back down to your knees, if you will. You'd rather have nothing than to risk having to lose again. Maybe you don't know how to dream at all. That sounds a little funny, I think, but, you guys know I'm in the process of getting my book to print. And one of the things I share in that book is I didn't have dreams as a child at all, okay? So I had to learn to dream. Maybe you don't know how to dream at all. Maybe you've given up and you see no value in dreaming again. But once again, especially for those people of faith on this call, that's not optional. God is never okay with God for you to sit back like a spiritual slug. Dreaming is more than just wishing. Anybody can make a wish upon a star. I mean, come on, anybody can take a step and say, oh, I wish, this would happen. Well, they don't really believe it at all. It's just a wish out there. I believe in a very big God, and I know that all things are possible because I believe, right? And when I see, for instance, I saw this as an example in a sermon this past week, when I see at the seed of an apple tree planted, okay, I believe if it's well cared for, of course, it's going to bear fruit. And if it's nurtured year after year, I know that apple seed that turns into a tree has the potential to produce 80,000 apples in the life of that tree. I believe it. I don't need to see a full, living color, image of time, time warp here and see the tree, instantaneously from seed to fruit. I don't need to. I believe. I know that seed will grow. I don't need to see it. I just need to nurture it, right? So I don't have to see it full grown to know that it's going to produce fruit. And I don't have to see every single step of my journey before I walk in it in order to believe. So I'm wondering, do you? Are you waiting there, are you sitting there waiting for this, step by step, from God? What are you waiting for? And so I really wonder sometimes, do you even believe? It ain't over till it's over. Again, as long as there's breath in your body, you're supposed to be doing something. And it's not sitting back complaining about where you aren't. And it's not sitting back in a ball, afraid to move, right? You're supposed to strive to be all that you can be and to accomplish all that you can accomplish. I was reading the newsletter that Bruce Wilkinson sent out, and he was talking about this woman. I can't remember. She's an elderly woman, old, okay? And she got taken from her home to a senior care facility, and she's really such an encouraging, woman of faith for so many years. But when she was uprooted from her home and put in that facility, then she got a really bad attitude. She was angry. She was upset. She didn't have her stuff. She was displaced and thrown into that home. And her daughter started reminding her of all the things that she had shared with her in her life about God, and there's always a purpose. And she found her way in that nursing home. It really moved me because I know with my mom for a good couple of years was praying and saying, she would say, I don't know why God won't just take me. She was stuck in this nursing home bed. She felt like she was worthless. She couldn't do anything anymore but just be in that bed. And she would say, I don't know why it doesn't just take me. But, slowly I started seeing her work her faith in that nursing home. And slowly I started seeing her ministering to other people. Nurses would come in and sit with her and weep and tell her about their lives, and she would share the Lord. God wasn't done with her yet. So even though she saw it as a setback, it turned into a dream and a vision and a purpose before her life was over. So it's never okay to take a break and to stop dreaming or stop moving. So what's holding you back? Scripture says that Jabez called on God of Israel, saying, oh, that you would bless me indeed and enlarge my territory. What does that mean? Give me more, right? Build a business, whatever. That your hand would be with me and that you would keep me from evil, that I may not cause pain. And God granted him his request. He was still dreaming, right? So all the things that we can run into in life, we cannot afford to stop dreaming. It ain't over till it's over, right? And then there's some confessions that I'd like to make. I get so frustrated. I think my frustration comes from, compassion, to be honest with you, and pain. I get so sad with people who either refuse to dream or they put God through the test, and they're perpetually waiting on God. What kind of faith is that? I mean, I know we're supposed to wait for his timing and things like that. I'm sensitive to that, and I certainly seek his discernment and his wisdom. So I'm not saying go out recklessly. But golly, I've heard about dreams and visions for years from some people, and they ain't done anything yet. They're sitting there. I don't know what they're waiting for. They're waiting for God to do it for them. Are they waiting for it to be crystal clear? I don't know. But I know sometimes, guys, it just takes dreaming and stepping out in faith. And rest assured, if your heart is right, you're going to get pulled back if you're going in the wrong direction. But you've got to keep moving. I use Moses as an example so often. When Moses was leading God's chosen people, they'd been through so much. What a man, just like, oh, wow, he had patience, all the whining, all the problems. But anyway, he was leading God's people, and they hit a dead end at the Red Sea. Here they are, gone all across the desert, been through so much adversity, and here they are, all these people, millions of people, and they, dead end, right, the Red Sea. And they started crying and whining and, of course, blaming Moses and say, hey, we could have died back there. How come we had to go so far to die, right? And eventually, so Moses reaches out to God, and I'm paraphrasing, obviously, and God basically says, what are you whining to me for? Just keep moving. And we know the rest of the story. Moses kept moving, and the sea was parted, and the people were delivered. But he didn't just sit there and wait for God. Give me some instructions or whatever. God said, quit whining and just keep moving. And I think that's what our faith needs to look like. That's definitely what our business needs to look like, right? That's faith. That's fulfilling purpose, and that's following a dream. I want you to know that I know what it is to lose hope. I know what it is to just give up. I had a season in my life like that, and it was not an easy season. I mean, I just wallowed in it I can't begin to tell you. And I know what it is to not have the will to move forward. I didn't even have the will to live. I didn't want to take my life, but I didn't want to live my life. I had given up. And I know what it is to stop dreaming. And let me tell you something, I never, ever want to return to that. That was a place that I allowed myself to be. I'm thankful that I was delivered from it, but I allowed myself to be. I just kept mulling my circumstances over and over. I would, talk to God, but it was over. It was done. There was no reason to even get up, right? It was over for me. I just had given up. I know what that is. So if you're on this call and you think, well, what does she know? Let me tell you something. I do know. And I desperately want other people to get out of that mode. I never want to know what it's like to have no hope and no dreams and nothing to get up for in the morning again. It doesn't have to be that way. But I caused myself to stay there. My circumstances were out of my control, but the way I dealt with them, I caused it to stay there. Again, I wallowed in it, and I spoke words of defeat. And I just wouldn't get up until God beat me with a stick, right? But I don't want you to be there. It's always time to dream again. It's not over till it's over, right? So dream again. I encourage you to join me in this journey. I'm excited about this journey. And I encourage you to open your heart, open your mind, and seek your dreams with everything you've got. This is, again, it's not a wish list. It's not, some unrealistic thing. It's a matter of just dreaming and believing, and like Moses, just keep moving forward. And I really, really want to encourage you to get others to attend. They might either need this message spiritually or they might need it just to get their business going. Maybe they're stuck in that place where they have given up their hope. But make the commitment to show up. You want to see me go crazy. It's like how many people, will say, where's the recording? I understand life gets in the way, but, there's something to be said for just making that commitment to show up. I'm going to be here every Monday night at 7, and I'm going to share with you what I've learned. And for those that have also joined in on the course, I hope you'll pipe in and share what you've learned. But make the commitment, guys. Just put it on your calendar Monday nights at 7. I want to tell you that we're all in a battle every day of our lives, but I can assure you that nobody wins a battle by doing nothing. You got to do something. You don't see people go to war and they sit down on the battlefield, nobody does anything. You never win a battle by doing nothing. So you can't afford to do nothing in your life. Don't squander your life. God has you here for a reason, and He's got big plans for you. You can't read your way into your dreams. You can't talk your way into your dreams. You've got to believe, just like that apple tree seed, right? And I believe that you plant it in that soil and you water it. I know its potential. I know that one day it will bear fruit, and lots of it. I believe. So you have to believe. You have to decide to open the door to your dreams, and you have to work for them. And some people, I think maybe we get to a certain stage in life, and we were hoping that we were part of just some kind of real get-rich-quick thing. But, we're not. We have to work for it. If you want to see reminders of that, go to the Bible. It says be diligent and keep working. Go without ceasing. So the question I have for you tonight is, are you in or are you out? Do you want to dream again? Is that something that you even see any value in? But I just can't imagine ever seeing my life go back to where I was, where I didn't have hope. You don't have hope, you don't have dreams. Hope deferred makes the heart sick, and rest assured my heart was sick. So I want to do my part as a friend, as a sister, as a leader, to see if I can encourage people into dreaming again. I got big dreams, and I'm not giving up. And I know that as long as I'm here, as long as I have breath, there's a plan for my dreams. So on that note, guys, *6. If anybody wants to come on and comment, have any questions about the Dream Again series, if you will, anything at all, now's the time to do it. *6. I'd love to hear from you. *6. Anybody out there?
Thanks, Lynn. This is Terry.
Hey, Terry. Thank God somebody came on, right? How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Okay. I tuned in late, but it was very good. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Terry. I'm glad to hear that. You're always such an encourager. I appreciate it. And I'll tell you, you're one person that never quits dreaming. And you encourage me more than you'll ever know because you never give up. You just always have a great vision and excitement and a great plan, and you're unstoppable. So thank you for being my friend and for being an encourager to me. Anybody else out there? *6. Last call, *6. Anybody want to come on? Okay, guys, this is a reminder. Again, the course is 12 weeks long, and I signed up. My understanding is there's not a time on it. In other words, materials will be sent out each week and that sort of thing. So Monday it starts. I'm sure I'll have my materials, get a chance to look over them, and our first session for the Dream Again will be next Monday night. So, again, if you see the value in that, pay it forward and get the word out there. It's kind of different for us to do a business call that's bringing out, this whole spiritual spin to it, but it's very important for us all to dream again, not just for our business, but also for life. What are we here for? And there's a purpose in it also. I thank you for being with us tonight. I'm going to sign off now. God bless you all, and I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.